Hi everyone, this is Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Welcome to my new subscribers that have come on board since my annual predictions and also my annual tarot scopes as well. For those that don't know, I do a mix of political readings, astrology, and of course the tarot scopes as well. So you'll get all of that on this channel if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Hit that subscription button. For those that I had a email from a viewer to say they're subscribed but they keep getting unsubscribed. Who knows what YouTube does. But I'd ask you that if you do want to be subscribed, then check that subscription button and you'll get a notification when I release a video. At the moment, I'm still partially on vacation. I wanted to really have the entire January month away, and I've been very slow in the second half of January coming back. So I definitely will be doing at least one video a week for the rest of January. So make sure you subscribe so you catch that video if you want. And also a thumbs up always makes it travel further and helps the YouTube algorithm. Well, firstly, thank you to those commentators who have left those beautiful, polite comments. Anyone who was wondering, I think I got a question around the annual predictions was, did I hate Trump? No, I don't hate Trump, but I have nothing in common with him. And so on this channel, you're going to get readings around what, as we perceive a threat to democracy, pushing back on dictatorship and authoritarianism, and also let's not forget the ex-president is a businessman, and so everything that he does is about business. He's under 91, I think, at last count, might be more now, criminal indictments. So I don't need to say any more about that. It's been a threat to the Republic of and the democracy of the United States, and of course, where I live in Australia, we are very much an ally of the US. So where the US goes, we tend to follow. In fact, in terms of our alliances, we actually do follow. So what occurs in your democracy impacts us here in Australia. So I'm also a former journalist, and so I keep abreast of the news. What I do is I bring clairvoyance and psychic perceptions into fairly sound, I've got a research degree, fairly sound research skills and analytical skills, and of course journalism skills, and I overlay that. So in that way I'm unique. I overlay my clairvoyance with those skills, and hence why I do political readings. But as I said, it's not the only thing I do. I'm also have a social sciences degree and a counselling diploma, and so I'm able to bring that skill set to my monthly tarot scopes and also to my astrology readings as well, those perceptive / analytical skills to pretty much everything I do. So that's in a nutshell who and what I am. I am also a cancer survivor, and which has left me with certain health issues. So from time to time I take a step back and I rest. And you'll know that too, because you'll probably say, Maryann, like a lot of my viewers, you need to rest. And that's what I'm doing in January. So let's get started today, because we've got a full bottle. Let's look at some astrology. First of all, I'll have a sip of my tea. The moon is going from Aquarius, depending on where you are in the world, is going from Aquarius into Pisces. Where I am in Australia, the moon is in Pisces. So this is very much about trusting your perceptions, trusting your own intuition, being aware of intuition as an ability and a skill, which can lead you very much in the right direction. The Sun, of course, is in Capricorn and moves into Aquarius with Pluto on the 21st of January. What a huge event. And I think I'll do my tarot scopes for January around that once-in-a-lifetime event. Pardon me. So we have the Sun sextiling Neptune. Very good day for illuminating your goals and wishes and what you want to bring into form. We have the Sun conjunct, because now we've started this movement from Capricorn into Aquarius. The Sun and the Pluto conjunct one another. So really this is exposing, or will expose, those areas of your life where some people call it the shadow side, some people call it an introspective deep dive. You know, if you've already learnt much about certain reoccurring issues in your life, the fact that they're reoccurring means you haven't quite finished the job. So it's a very good time to go back and really declutter, in a way, declutter your lives, declutter your relationships, step forward boldly with how you want to start and then how you want to go on. We've got the pardon me, Mercury conjunct Mars. So you really do have to watch your words. This can be a conjunction that, you know, you can actually get quite angry, and Mars is that assertiveness and Mercury is communication. So Mars can also be anger. So you do need to make sure that your words are measured. Mars trining Jupiter, very good time to bring Jupiter, the planet of expansion and luck, and the great benefic Jupiter Mars. So you can expect maybe some luck and good fortune coming your way in certain areas that may have been stuck in the past. And we have Jupiter sextiling Saturn. Again, a good day to get on with those dreams and wishes and goals and intentions that you may have made for the new year. Let's move into the tarot now. I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot and also the Hanson Roberts deck to clarify as needed. I want to look at the recent strikes against the Houthis in Yemen. They have been bailing up ships. They've been doing this for years. Masked kind of machine gun wielding bandits, if you want to call it that, have stopped ships in the Red Sea, boarded them and taken over them, held them up. And so their recent action was directed at Israel. Any ship that was carrying supplies, they attacked. The US has answered that with measured strikes on some of their infrastructure that allow them to target certain ships. They've now extended that to US and UK. And of course the big danger here is holding up supply chains and then increasing the cost of goods, and of course inflation rises then. So there's a political skin in the game here as well for all those countries that are facing elections this year, trying to keep inflation down. But there's also, I mean, you cannot just have masked machine gun wielding bandits pulling ships up in the Red Sea, no matter where they're destined to, any more than you can have Israel, who's before the International Criminal Court in The Hague at the moment to answer South Africa's case against them for allegedly attempting a genocide against Gaza citizens. Talk about that later as well. So the question that I have is, will Iran enter the war with Israel? Because the Houthis, this is my journalism coming out, my research, the Houthis, the Hezbollah and Iran are the so-called axis of resistance, and so Iran has backed both groups. So the relationship between the US and Iran is fraught. It was very good under Obama and deteriorated under the ex-president. On the ex-president, I'm actually going to... I watched an interview with Dr. Brandy Lee, a psychiatrist at one of the large universities in America. I would urge everyone to take a look at her interview. She talks about the ex-president, and you know who I mean. I'm not referring to Bill Clinton, I'm referring to the ex-president before Biden. Number, what was he? 45. And I'm actually going to ban the word Trump in my comments, because I keep getting supporters of January 6th insurrection. Yes, supporters of an insurrection, supporters of violent rhetoric. I keep getting them coming on my channel, so we'll get rid of that name Trump. For my existing viewers who know me well, just use whatever name you want to use for the ex-president. So that interview with Dr. Brandy Lee talks about his pathological narcissistic personality, looks at it from a psychological point of view. It's very, very powerful in ways, suggestions about how we actually do take the influence away. It's a tremendous amount of exposure that this ex-president has. Tremendous amount. And I don't want to contribute to that. So what we're going to do is just take away that name. So if you're going to refer to him, then refer to him in another way, because names and words have power. And this is what he, in plastering his name everywhere, on buildings, in political, everywhere, it takes on a rather sinister thing. So we won't refer to him on this channel. Okay, so will Iran enter the war? Under Obama, a reasonable relationship with Iran became worse under ex-president 45, and it's continued to deteriorate since October the 7th and the Middle East war began. So really, with this firing on the Houthis and the Houthis' actions themselves, will Iran enter the war with Israel? That's what I want to know. Okay, will Iran enter the war? I'm seeing a lot of peace talks going on. People sitting around a circular table. It's reminding me of a roulette table. Throw the dice. Remember in my global predictions we talked about a window of opportunity existing to prevent a world, the world being drawn into this Middle Eastern conflict. So, will Iran, a Russian roulette, interesting, Russian roulette. Will Iran be drawn into a war with the US, with Israel? Will Iran be drawn into a war with Israel? So we get the Three of Wands, waiting for one's ship to come in a way that is like the Houthis patrolling the banks of the Straits and the Red Sea, and on lookout for those ships. It's very, very volatile, and we get, I'm pleased to see, the Nine of Rods, or the Nine of Wands, which is about boundaries, putting boundaries in front. So targeted strikes on Yemen may have actually been the right thing, the right action to do, because it sets up a boundary. But let's have a look. The Five of Swords, we get sabotage. This is very much about the Houthis. I asked about Iran, because the Houthis are backed by Iran. We get the dollars in the background. So as much and all as we get these fine words about religion, much of everything descends back to the dollar. Who's got it and how much of it. and influence. So it's showing very clearly that the Iran is backing the Houthis and Hezbollah. We can see that here in this spread. We have a manifestation magician here. Each country, each power has its own influence, but we'll get some kind of manifestation coming here with the magician. It's only a potential. Now we get the Four of Wands. We get home, land, family in the immediate future. Now they vowed that there'll be reprisal, so we could see some air activity here of the Houthis. I asked about Iran, perhaps more bombing coming from Hezbollah toward Israel. There's something around a targeting of people's homes. This question was Iran, not about Gaza. We have the environment around this issue, this very quick, explosive type of issue. We have the King of Swords, which is, again, air energy, but it's planning and strategy. It's wisdom around dialogue. And so we see many forces here trying to prevent an escalation. In the hopes and fears, we have money. Interesting. Legacies, wealth, money. A lot of this is about money. In the sky, we get the Devil card. Toxicity. It's not an actual yes card. And we get the ending of cycles, carrying a lot of... It's just a tinderbox. It's so toxic there at this time, and it could go either way. There are decisions literally around which ships to allow through and which ships not to. And we get the Five of Pentacles. I don't see World War III breaking out, but this is a toxic situation that will continue for some time yet. The Magician worries me because there's a manifestation there. Let's see what's underneath the pack. We get the New Starts and we get Retreat. We get the Sun card, Full Illumination, and the King of Wands. This is the Courts as well. I feel okay, this is what I feel is going to happen. I feel that their action somehow is... There will be an increased aid going through to Gaza. That's as I see it, how this might play out. It will simmer along, but there is a great amount of dialogue, including before the UN, about increasing aid to Gaza. So at this point, I don't see it escalating beyond this kind of consistent, toxic... Well, all war is toxic, isn't it? But Iran is yeah. I mean, I can see that they're funding the extremist groups, Hezbollah and the Houthis. Remember the damage Houthi has done. They're a sect in Yemen to the Yemens themselves. So, how's this? Are they going to somehow dialogue? Somebody's talking to Iran, whatever the Arab countries are that are close to Iran, and they're promising them things, consistency, money. Yeah, there's offers on the table. So it's actually dialogue and dollars that are going to prevent this escalating any further. That's as I see it. Okay, now I could be right and I could be wrong. It's really a matter of time to see how this plays out. All right, let's look at... Okay, let's look at the X. By the way, I have predicted time and time again that this is the year of the ex-president's downfall. People don't want to hear that. All of us have skin in the game in seeing good political candidates from both sides in a democracy, or as people say, we're a republic, we're not a democracy. Well, you actually have a democratic system of government. You don't have... Yeah, anyway, I won't go any further into that. But it is in everybody's interest to see a healthy, functioning democracy, and that takes good candidates in both sides. The ex-president is not that. So, ex-president 45, will he be the candidate? I sincerely hope not. Will the ex-president of the United States, will the ex-president of the United States be the Republican candidate? Nikki Haley is coming up next, and below her or beyond her is DeSantis. Okay, so, and there are people who can't even stand me to say that Haley would be preferable to, that she could. I know she's extreme in certain areas, in women's health, women's freedoms, women's rights. But out of the ex-president 45 and DeSantis, give me Haley any day. Okay, so will the ex-president 45 be the Republican candidate? The owl is on the window looking in at us. Yeah, he does think that he is. It's king-like here. And he sees getting that Republican nomination as a crowning in itself. But the crown is tilting. Will he be the Republican nominee for president? Okay, so we get defending oneself. There are a lot out there, a lot of Republicans who are concerned about the criminal indictments against him. A conviction would actually change their minds. And we get the King of Cups here. King of Cups is wisdom. It's also water signs as well. And so that could be Biden. So I'm seeing here Biden has to defend himself as well. But that's not the question I asked. I'm asking about Trump standing his ground, defending himself. He thinks he has a good chance against Biden. Now, interesting, we get the Page of Wands. This is not the king, and it's not even the knight. It's the lowly page. And when we're talking about politics, it's a pretty kind of immature type of... Boris Johnson got that when he won the UK election, and look what happened to him. Not strong. Okay, so we get the Empress in the past. I did a reading on Where's Melania a few months ago, and I predicted then you could see a divorce happening, if not in 2024, in 2025. That's not Melania, though. That's Russia. Russia in the past. We get the World card in the sky, beginnings and endings of major cycles. We get the Wheel of Fortune, suggesting an uptick in in ex-President 45's fortunes. We get a great deal of anxiety here, and that's including from him. The environment around is something coming to fruition in time. He's very, very anxious about the future. We get the 8, because this is his last ditch, isn't it? He thinks he could win the presidency and then pardon himself. He's got some money issues at the moment, campaign money issues, because that's in the hopes and fears position. Okay, and we get the King of Pentacles as the outcome. So that's a yes, but this is a big, heavy burden, not just for Trump, but for the Republican Party itself. And we get, obviously, if you've watched Fox News, this was it's like the death, it's the minor arcana to the death card. It talks about, the ending of things. It's not a good card. And then we get the Lover's card, which is Gemini, and that's very much around his supporters. And then we get celebrations. So I think it's close. It's very close, closer than what he would like it to be. It looks like it's going his way at this time. However, we have the courts coming here. The Star card, deals being made, and moderation, and then disappointment. So the scenario could be he might, at this stage he's certainly got an uptick, but it's a losing battle for him. Even if he does secure the nomination, I just don't feel it's a year of downfall for him. Okay, if you want to see more of that, I will be releasing a closer look at him over the next week or so. All right, so let's have a look at Speaker Johnson. I have predicted that his speakership does not last. I did that about, I don't know, whenever he got the gavel. Now the extremist branch of the Republican Party in America is talking about unseating him, which would be their third speaker, oh God, it'd be absolute chaos. Okay, now he's a MAGA himself, MAGA Moses, I think they call him. Speaker Johnson, will he be ousted from his speakership? He would need Democratic votes to retain it, as did McCarthy, and the Democrats said, no, this is not, we aren't in the majority. What? This is control your own party. Okay, so will Speaker Johnson be ousted from the speakership? Will Speaker Johnson be ousted from the speakership? All right, he's promised a lot. He's promised a lot, giving and receiving help, and then we get sabotage. So he hasn't lived up to his promises, although those factions that he promised things to, they're not good cards for Speaker Johnson. But let's keep going. So we have the Sun card. Okay, so that's at the foundation of the reading. That's a good card. He might hang on. We get plans in the past. Everybody was excited about his speakership. Then you didn't shut down the government. You didn't do what you were supposed to do in cutting back spending. Okay, so we get the Page of Pentacles. He's holding on. Potentially he's holding on. We get victory in the near future, which is a yes card, but I haven't finished the reading. We get the Sword, the Ace of Swords, and the Tower. Oh my goodness me. He always got pretty terrible cards. These are not... The talk about dismissing him or ousting him will grow. The hopes and fears. One of the people that is agitating this could be the ex-president 45 himself. Three of Wands. Okay, so that's good for him. Well, no, it's not good for him because it's a yes card. There's a plan here. So the ex-president 45 has his eyes on somebody else. And we get the Truth. These are all yes cards and very quick action. And plan B. It's possible that Speaker Johnson would be ousted for somebody who will sow the chaos that the ex-president 45 wants sown. Potentially still has one pentacle. It could even come down to one vote, but certainly it looks like he might lose his speakership and he's got the Tower there at this time. Also predicted in my Pluto into Aquarius, where the Sun and Pluto are exactly conjunct. It's called a cazimi in astrology terms. I also predicted that something huge will come out about Epstein. Now, over the last few weeks, we have had former President Bill Clinton. We can call him ex-president too if you want. I don't really care. He lied about an affair he had with an intern. And he and the ex-president 45 have been on Epstein's flight logs. They mention that they've used the plane, both of them. Okay, so to be fair, both of them. Now, Media is contending that the 45 is DOE 174, and he is mentioned 9 times in, 9 docket entries in the Epstein case files that have been released. Everything went quiet. We had a lot of chatter around Bill Clinton and his association with Epstein, Prince Andrew and his association with Epstein, the lawyer Dershowitz and his, Alan, I think his name is, and his association with Epstein and other very high-profile people. And then 45's, ex-President 45's name starts to get mentioned, and suddenly everything went quiet. It's a fickle and destructive game, politics. All right. Murdoch paper, New York Post, has contended that there are tapes, that they've been in touch with somebody who says there are tapes of both Bill Clinton and ex-President 45. And if those tapes were released, it would destroy both of them. Well, I think Bill Clinton's reputation is just about being destroyed. I should say that mentioning in the case files is there's no allegations of wrongdoing. But if these tapes were released, the game changes altogether. I want to know if there are tapes now of the ex-president standing for president again. That's the one we're dealing with. Are there tapes of ex-president 45? Did Epstein have tapes of ex-president 45? I'd be very... the 45 would have been loath to get involved, but not get involved, but get caught. But then, all right. So he may not have been. Anyway, let's not go there. Are there tapes of 45, ex-president 45? Does Epstein have tapes of ex-president 45? So I'm seeing someone holding up a flag and disappearing and the earth closing in on him. What is this flag? Location. There's a location. Okay, there could be anything. Could be the island, could be... Let's have a look. Does Epstein have... At a location. Could be his New York townhouse. So there's a location that's important here. Does Epstein have... Could even be at a club or something like that. Does Epstein have tapes of the ex-president 45? Damaging tapes. There you have it. The magician, manifestation, manipulation, and the death card. Wow. Wow. God, strong cards. We get to the end of the reading and look what we've got. News coming through, and in my Pluto Aquarius videos, I said you might expect huge news to come out around that 2021 area where the sun is almost exactly conjunct. Epstein's death is what I'm picking up here. In the event of my death type of thing. We have the Knight of Cups, which would be an offer, a deal, could even be blackmail. Victory card. What this victory card keeps... it's a yes card in the immediate future. 6 days would bring us up to that Kazemi. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. This is to do with the woman... A woman that may have some incriminating news. Okay, there we have the hopes and fears. 6 of Swords travelling across the seas. Movement out of troubled waters. I said the hopes and fears, and then we get, okay, Okay. Yes, he does. I want to say yes, he does have something around money given. Yeah. Okay, so there could be some information coming out around the ex-president 45 paying someone off. And he will have to defend that. There he is. Yeah, I'm absolutely certain that there'll be a revelation soon around connecting ex-president 45 to one of Epstein's victims, and there's been money paid off. I asked, were there tapes? What comes after? Yeah, lies and deceit around this King of Pentacles. Okay, somebody's got something on him, and they're deciding whether to bring this forward or not. And we get the High Priestess and the Devil card here related to the past. Okay, somebody's got something on the ex-president 45. Whether it's tapes or records of money paid, something that is likely to come out connecting him to Epstein. I'm going to leave it there. It was longer than what I thought. I'll get to the Hague in a future reading. It was interesting. I said, I don't think we'll know straight away. Before I knew the process, we won't have a result on this case for years. I didn't know that before, but it showed in the cards we wouldn't get the result straight away. However, I did feel that some kind of action would be taken, an order or something like that, and that's exactly what we're likely to get. But I'll drill down on that a bit later on. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Hold steady, and I'll be back again with another reading soon. Bye for now.